I am never satisfied, so I am always satisfied. Should be the mentality of the tantric devotee. What is a tantric devotee? One who finds the beauty in all things of life, pure and impure, beautiful or ugly, logical or illogical. The tantric devotee finds sense in the nonsense. And goes beyond this nonsense at the same time. This is why the sage Drangpa Kunli said, I, a wandering avadut, found self-seeking sufferers everywhere that I looked. So out of fear of only thinking of myself, I kept to myself. You see, the tantric devotee, the great soul who listens to the guru's teachings, is detached from life. They partake in the nonsense while also being beyond the nonsense. Because the foolishness is everywhere. The foolishness is inevitable. Life is like the left-hand side of the road. It'll never be right. So seeing through this game, the devotee allows himself to go left if he must. And if somehow life decides to go right, okay. Because the devotee says, my happiness wasn't based on that anyway. It's often we think when everybody loves us, when this I in our head tells us it loves us, it tells us that we've accomplished and we've achieved and everybody loves us and now we're acceptable and now we deserve to be alive. But what about being alive to just be alive? What about just being as you are? There's this UFC fighter, Conor McGregor, and I saw somebody in the comments talking trash because they feel like Conor McGregor is not as disciplined as he should be. But I said to myself, they said, oh, like Conor ruined his life or something. But I said he can eat, he can breathe, he can look at the sun. What do you mean his life is ruined just because his reputation isn't as favorable as it once was? What does that really mean? And this is the problem. People can feign humbleness, but that does not mean that they truly have it. I'll tell you another something else about Drangpa Kunli. He walked into the town, and the first thing he said to the town is, where can I find the best woman in wine? And this is a sage. But then you had a monk who would talk garbage and sneer at Drangpa Kunli. He would, what you would say in modern times, roast him and call him a fake. Then one day, Drangpa Kunli got upset. And he said to the man, if you were truly awakened, you would have had a spiritual lineage. Now, what is a spiritual lineage? It is a lineage of teachers that pass down from student, and then the student becomes a teacher of thyself. A relationship between outer guru and inner guru. And some might say, well, I need no spiritual lineage. You need no official lineage. But only those who are truly humble can give honor to who they have learned from and respect to who they have learned from. How humble you are isn't based on the outside appearance, but your inner bliss and your inner surrender. This is why Drukpa Kunli, a man who, from the outside, you could say, this is a very superficial man. The first thing he says when he comes to town is, where's the wine and where's the woman? But you have to understand, this man is in a position where he's expected to behave a certain way, especially being from a spiritual lineage. He's expected to be what others might say is a spiritual man. And even though he likes to enjoy life's pleasures, inwardly he is always thinking of his guru and thinking of his guru's teachings. Now, who is the guru? The one who teaches about detachment. And the devotee, in order to defeat life and go beyond this life and go beyond death and birth, studies the guru's teachings. So when they partake in wine, the sensation of wine, the tantric devotee sees this as a temporary lesson. Yes, I will enjoy this pleasure. Yes, I will enjoy copulation with the opposite sex. But it won't last. Because afterwards, the devotee will think of his or her guru. And those who are devoted, everybody's experienced this, where you'll be in this wonderful moment and it'll be like you're in a trance. You won't even realize it. But what's happening is that you're so entranced in the moment, you almost forget the Dharma completely. You're just like, man, life is so amazing. Like, nothing could ever go wrong. And then it flips on its head. Or a truth about it is revealed that you would not have seen if it didn't reveal itself. It looked pretty, but it was actually ugly. So then during these moments, that's when you're like, wow, the Dharma is so beautiful. Because it's so right. The Dharma tells you that no matter what people say, they love you or they hate you, opinions change. The love of others changes. So you may say the monk is better than Drukpa Kunli because he follows certain stereotypes, and he's making fun of Drukpa Kunli because Drukpa Kunli is coming to the town and just being himself. And the beauty of Drukpa Kunli is he's actually following the Dharma truthfully. Because he's authentically showing who he is. But let me tell you something. Another part of that quote is Drukpa Kunli called out that monk for his hypocrisy. He said that you appear to be a monk, but you are not humble. Inwardly, you are materialistic. You have no spiritual lineage, because people who don't give credit to who taught them, they have this desire to be superior than others, better than others. But the humble man has no desire to be seen as the smartest. They're grateful for the knowledge that they've been given and can't wait to share with others. Not for glory, but for the hell of it, for love. Because in actuality, there is no glory, and that's the beauty of a Drukpa Kunli, is how somebody can so unabashedly be themselves. And when you're truly yourself, people like you will show up and love you. For example, a devotee of Drukpa Kunli, even though other people were talking shit, this monk was talking garbage, one of his devotees said, Drukpa Kunli, I know this town that has the best wine and woman. Can I please take you there? And Drukpa Kunli smiled. So look at all the people talking garbage about him, seeing him as a fake guru, a predator, when he's just unabashedly being himself. That's Dharma. To accept your impurities, to accept your purities, to go beyond them, to go beyond being a slut and to go beyond being a nun. to go beyond being a choir boy and to go beyond being the quote-unquote bad boy. When we accept that others will never be satisfied, and when we accept that we will never be satisfied, that's when we can truly be satisfied. When we indulge in pleasure and we embrace pleasure, we realize that it never leads to true satisfaction. It leads to glimpses of satisfaction. It leads to disappointment, right on appointment. And that's why the Dharma is so beautiful. Because it refuses to lie to you. And the representatives of the Dharma, like Drugpa Kunli, show up as they are. And they refuse to lie to you. And if you're intelligent enough, you can see when something may look real, but it's really fake. And you'll be able to see when something looks fake, but it's very real. The truth will always reveal itself. Nothing can hide itself from the sun. Nothing can hide itself from the sun. Even if you go inside, you can still feel the heat from the sun. And even if you say, well, I can have an AC, well, what electricity are you going to have without the sun? So appreciate the beauty. Don't run away from the heat. Embrace it. Because this life will put that pressure on you, but you got to embrace it. You got to give it a hug. It'll feel claustrophobic. It'll feel like it's claustrophobic and it's, closing in on you, but you got to hug it. You got to embrace it. You got to say, I don't give a shit if you close in on me. Come for me. I accept it. I've seen the battles you put me through. I know what I've been through, and I'm still here. And the greatest gift you can actually give yourself is to know that there's nobody going through anything. There's nobody here. Your mind is an illusion. Your mind is an imagination, a dream. But that only happens when you're tired of this nonsense, this game. When you're sick of it. When you're sick of this mind. When you're sick of worrying about what others think of you. When you're sick about worrying about people's expectations. There comes a time where you have to be tired of this nonsense, this samsara, this bullshit. There has to be a time where bliss becomes your best friend by making the guru your best friend. One of the oldest sayings, you are who you surround yourself. Surround yourself with those who love bliss. Envelop your mind in bliss by not even being concerned about your mind being blissful. If your mind is not blissful, so what? If your mind is agitated, so what? If everybody hates you, so what? If your mind hates you, so what? Be like Drugpa Kunli. Sing your thoughts out loud. Embrace them. Embody them. Don't be scared of them. Be honest, because there's so many hypocrites who lie about what they are. There's so many hypocrites who will try to seem like they're better than you, try to portray like they're better than you. And they suffer way more than you could ever imagine because you don't even suffer like them. But they'll portray it like you're this terrible, useless, pathetic thing that should be sad when you're just not. When you don't fit the expectations that they think you should. They want you to be angry. They want you to hate yourself. But when you know there's no self, what self is there to hate? And that's why we have to investigate the I am. Investigate our true being. Investigate who we truly are. So no one or nothing can tell us who we truly are. Because I'm telling you, this world will never satisfy you. You'll be tempted. But just remember the Dharma. Remember what the Dharma has been telling you, and you'll laugh when things like this happen, when things disappear. Because you'll know it was inevitable.